Thank you.
You just flatline and like I'm supposed to. Apparently, I'm on your research team now. I mean,
A or B, you can start.
there's several people that won't be practicing. We are, we have good depth on the team. We have some bumps and bruises for sure. But that's we're approaching December, which is the 12th month of the year, and we started in the 7th, and it accumulates. So, um, we're fast on our feet and we're adjusting on the fly, but there'll be plenty of guys getting reps that if 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 guys can't get themselves to the place they need to be to perform at the level they need to perform at, they'll be able to step in and it's one of the cool things about this team is with all the confidence that the locker room has within each other, they don't really blink. So, we'll be seizing the day regardless. Yeah, seeing tape on him the last couple years. Someone I'm very familiar with. He got a start in the division that I was in with when I was with Washington. He was with the New York Giants actually. Reminisced on one of the most catastrophic run plays that I've ever experienced that he was at the point of attack on. I think he's I'm pumped for the team to add a player of his experience, of his esteem. He's a force on the edge, and I'm just pumped for him to get in the mix with the entire team. This is a team that's been working diligently together for a long time. So, he'll be getting up to speed, studying really all day, and trying to get comfortable in what we're asking to do. So, it'll be exciting. Not just pumped to have the depth that we have really on this team, and adding a player like him is just more of that. I'm pretty optimistic that you're going to get a hard-line answer. It's not that I hate him. I just don't really pay any mind to something that, the first check box is, does the surgery go well? And then you just, it wasn't like, I know internally, a classic example is Jalen Ramsey, who just came back from an injury, and one of the things that we focus on that our training staff firmly believes is you just take the one step at a time, because if you start thinking about something that's honestly everybody's body's different, every injury is slightly different, and for you to forecast something as a grade, the grade is not that. So I just want him to be fully healed and recovered. So it's not that I literally do not think about his timeline, because it's like, no, just whatever it takes to do it the right way so that no one's doing anything for the wrong reasons or pressing when you should pull off or all that stuff. But you guys have seen him in action. This dude is as hard of a worker as it comes. He's passionate. He got a taste of what he knows is his ability to play in this league, to make plays in this league, and to perform for his team. So that juice will push him through. That'll be it's not always easy, but nothing worth it really ever is it? Boom. No timeline. No. They performed the surgery while he was hanging like a bat. No, I don't know. No, it was more. You didn't even laugh. Like you were ready to tweet, bro. All right, I'll work harder. Yeah, I'll do better. That's a relative term. Theoretically, the way medicine is progressing, what's how'd you phrase it?
Conventional versus
What is conventional? What is unconventional? Um, they it wasn't. I don't think it was along the lines that you're insinuating. I guess it would be more traditional, but to say that it's it's a Achilles procedure. That honestly, I know where the Achilles is. Not trying to know much. There's experts for that, including our training staff. So all I know is that it went well. That we're very happy, and it's about not only it's not about how quick recovery can be for him. It's more about with the position he plays, his explosiveness, and it's about getting him back. Which there's no. I'm very very confident that can happen. So he's just got to take it one day at a time. But as far as there wasn't anything crazy as far as this procedure. No bat hanging. Well, it's funny how life works out. I was I was so fortunate to have the opportunity to be in that competitive atmosphere of coaches that were trying to all make a name for themselves in one way, shape, or form, and then to have a situation where you get a supremely talented player that's faster than people of that position generally, and had played in a spread, no huddle type offense, and then just the idea of we didn't to be in a situation where from the top down, Mike Shanahan didn't mandate that we go on a clinic circuit, and then just Kyle's acumen and the entire staff problem solving, quite literally thinking outside the box. At that point in time, there was like 29. I remember it. I don't remember the exact number, but it was like this fixed number because Mike Shannon made us watch it 900 times, but it was like 29 zone reads by Tim Tebow in the NFL. And then we had some college tape. We'd never done anything out of the pistol ever. So all of those things kind of set a foundation of opening your mind, having assets as you will, and finding a way to not fit people into something, but fit the play, the scheme, what you're trying to do around the talent that you have. That to have that happen to me at that age, I just don't know any other way. And I think that I'm so fortunate to have that foundation, because then I don't moving forward, and then the blessing that at the time definitely didn't seem like a blessing, getting fired by different teams and jumping around, being in 7 different organizations. You learn how to adapt, and to me, that I hold a strong, principled connection to the role of coaching, and I feel like that experience enabled me to do my best that I can do towards what I feel like is owed to the players, organization, football teams, and all that. So it was a really, it was rocky. Second I got there, we got hit with like a monumental fine by the league, and we lost out on free agency. But then we had some really good players that were very committed, and being able to. It was the first time I've ever been in the playoffs that Robert's rookie year, and Alfred and all those guys. So doing all that stuff was pretty cool, and it kind of set the foundation for how I look at the game all the time now. So you notice a lot of production that Van Ginkel has, particularly on the edge at the point of attack in the run or pass. he'll have an innate ability to is kind of like limber in his upper body, and so he can bend and get low underneath pad level, and then take away his chest or his front blocking surface, and run around the corner. You've seen guys in defensive line drills have a giant hula hoop that they run around. And that is something that he's been very adept at in minute times. Like, okay, you have an offensive lineman that's hesitating for a second, and you can all of a sudden go step right, left, and bend around the corner, and make a play. That limber nature from that position, which has to be stout as well and firm, it's a unique trait that there's sacks and forced fumbles and things from this year that or in that way he makes plays in a similar fashion that Max does, and I was also learning, people's names you see in the draft process, but until you study a guy, until you study a team and individual players that you're preparing for, you don't really know the ins and outs. So it was the first time that I'd done that with him, and I came away supremely impressed. I could see where the hype came from because he's a very, very good player. Oh no, I'm so pumped to have Chase. I'm very hesitant to over the top be like, all right, this is going to happen. There's been certain games where he's been more involved than others, but realistically, I wanted the football player. I wanted the from all of the people that I know and have connections with. I thought he would be a valuable asset as a person as well to this football team, and he's proven itself. I'm very, very happy to have him. Nothing's changed with that. It is no small task to come into a team in the middle of the season. Mind you, it's even more rare to the jumping into a season or onto a team that is specifically in his unit. It's not struggling. We're very operating at a high level, and he's really gone above and beyond to assimilate and get up to speed because and his teammates can feel that. So there will be roles for him throughout the season. It wasn't really like, hey, this guy's going to come here and do X, Y, or Z. You're just trying to make your team better and give yourself some more bullets to be able to match up with whatever team or situation or thing that the defense can present. And he's very much done that. And I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, he's like one within the locker room. And that speaks to him, our locker room, and what our team's about. We're trying to do stuff that works, and I don't. There's always things. You hope that it's not as it's not as of an eyesore as where that rakes in the rest of the league, and it's not good enough. But there's always stuff that you're working on in your game. I think one of the things that gives us a chance to play good football every week, to get better at that, those are the facts as life stands right now. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that that's the way it's going. You have to work at stuff, and for me, I'm not going to pretend that every decision that I make is good. I'm trying to make the best decision. Football's a humbling game. For instance, every single one of those plays that didn't work, in my mind, I was definitely hoping they'd work, and they didn't. And so you try to learn from it. So it's not like, case in point, we couldn't run the ball before. Now we can't. You have to work on stuff. Starts with me and my, ultimately I make the decisions and I'm held accountable for the ultimate result, as it should be. But what I do know is we have a collection of individuals that we're all fighting for whose fault it really is. I have the loudest voice, so I got to say it's mine. But and that's a healthy process to an NFL season. I need to give guys opportunities on the ground more to make plays, but at the same time, you make each and every one of those decisions. For me, at least, I don't pretend that any play that I ever call is the reason that something successful happens. I know it's a part of it, and with that mindset, you just have to continue to try to do your best. And for me, if I feel like my decisions were sound, that I invested the amount on the front end, and that I was trying to do the best, you live with the results. I'm fully aware. It's not that this narrative isn't new, and we haven't done anything to change it. But when it's not like I don't know before fourth down call that if it doesn't work, people aren't going to be fired up about it. I'm definitely not fired up, and I think I'm confident in the people that we have in the building. I'm confident myself that you work on stuff, you get better from it. So I don't expect to be, the last ranking official at the short yardage conference for the rest of my career. But we got to work through that, and we do that diligently and to the best of our ability, for sure. No, I think it is much easier to try to find a commonality, and we definitely do. We scour the situations, as a matter of fact. But I think you also have to take each individual situation for what it is and be able to categorize, what's going on when things are not going the way we want them to go. My personal opinion is that there's a art to playing the game of quarterback, and I think a lot of people, when you're able to execute at a high level, you forget that it is a progression, and as a player that's highly motivated, highly committed, there's sometimes that the play to make is not throwing it to the other team. That's the play. And, I try to do my best to minimize those situations where that's the best alternative. But there's sometimes when you're playing the position, and that's a learning process. What I don't do is just scream about don't throw picks, because that's like the coaching point, catch the ball for me. Like, pretty sure everyone's trying. But tangibly, it's assessing, that's why it's so important to be so deliberate every day and so intentional, is because you can recreate those moments of competitiveness, you can recreate game moments, and you have the game moments, and you learn from them. And to me, it's not about being infallible. It's about winning at the game of improvement, that I think is a strong, it's a direct correlate to literally everyday life for everyone. Is you just sometimes you have to have the humility to be like, yeah, things are going. I'm going to always have to improve on something. For him, he can protect the ball better. He knows that. There's literally no one on the planet that's more angry every time there's a turnover. I'm just telling you, like but that he's got to use it constructively, and it can't be absolute. It can't just be like, I can't throw picks. No, okay, what does that mean? Like they're going to happen. Well, in certain scenarios, do you need to take a risk? Does it need to be a completion for, all of those things? So that's part of the growth process of every player. And, I think we're very fortunate. I feel very fortunate to have, one of the best learners that I've ever been around in coaching at the quarterback position. So he's expecting to be better, just like I'm expecting to be better, like we all should be. So.
Thank you.